Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Revival versus Kartvengers. Second war of the day for this cast. Not to be confused with the Worldwide with Bob that I got very confused with. Thought was an actual war and panicked. And basically did a lap of my house to get there. Revival the hosts of this one, so should be in a few of the top spots as it stands. Might want to be going for a runner. Erpa 5 are professional point of view on this occasion. Not sure what he wants. And he's gone Rainbow Road. They were actually meant to be going MC3, but he has gone Rainbow Road. What a moment for him. He's got his track in the cast. And there's nothing I can do about it. He's got Rainbow Road in it. So, as it stands, Mario Circuit 3, a bagger, not Rainbow Road. Mario Circuit 3 is going to be one of those interesting tracks where we're going to see a couple of people hovering near the back. Erpa might be one of them given his position. But we'll find out shortly. As he's going to be getting a red shell, definitely not one of the ones near the back. I think I might have put the music down a little bit too much. Apologies for that. Gets a red shell, will be going for Yit, I believe that was. What a great name. As Revival in the top 3 so far. Nope, Erpa getting hit out, and I am a commentator's curse machine as it stands today. Erpa with the one shroom, going to need those coins, gets the coins. Coin starving the people behind him if they haven't got enough coins, but I would note that I think Yit might have something right behind himself, so got to watch out for what these Kartvengers players have got. Erpa throwing that red, getting a golden, lovely item to be pulling, and he will be doing the golden cut here to maximise his distance from the main pack. Not sure why he's not opted to go through the middle there, but it's alright, and he is third place with... No, not with anything. Shells, don't matter. Welcome to the Shocklands. And Kai is going to be dodging. Coming up, Erpa might be getting readied out. Will he? Yes, he will, but Chosen gets his position, so Revival aren't going to be really bothered. Erpa again with a box. Oh, that's pretty much the best item he could have pulled in 6th. He's gone for that shroomless cut. He really mistimed that chain, but he doesn't care. He is going to be getting one of the good spots, regardless of what the rest of Revival care for. And that is a Revival perfect start for that war. We're going to be seeing that perfect start in positional form there, as it's a... top 5-7. Top 5-7. And that top 5-7 will be 60-22. A fantastic start for Revival against Kartvengers here. Kartvengers, like we had with Dark Phantom Knights, a team with a lot of history. But history against Revival, not so much. In terms of their war record, well, let's confirm the war record. So, war record against Team Kartvengers is listed as Kartvengers. What a moment for the stats! Can't believe it. Kartvengers 2-2. So only the 4 wars played between the two. It's going to be interesting to see how this 5th one goes out. Definitely in favour of Revival so far for the momentum. And they're going to be getting this runner in the form of Neo Bowser City as well. So that's another positive for them. Just got to make sure that this momentum is kept positive and doesn't become arrogance, because complacency is one of the biggest killers. 2 people getting a full start already, not ideal. And they're going to be hovering near the back now. Erpa here is going to be getting readied out, and that means he should probably be the bagger, but we'll ignore that. As Trippy, Ceci, Erpa, all near the back. Hooray! Erpa, press the B button. No, because apparently one of us is further back. Either that or we're not focusing on that shock as revival. But I guess fair enough. Game plan might not be for the shock. We'll see if that affects how Kartvengers play. Kai having a horn, an interesting item to be holding as he falls back a little bit. Erpa though getting through, and that's an interesting way to be hit out. That random player just going through with triple reds and then like teleporting away perfectly at the right time. Yeah, not ideal, but as it stands, Erpa 1 coin and no coins. Commentator's curse. Welcome to how I play. This is going to be a golden from Erpa. Going to be getting past a lot of these Kartvengers players. The issue is they have a lot of these spots, so... And he's hit out. He didn't play defensively enough. Let's see. Can Revival do anything to save this race? These are pretty much the exact opposite of what they had the first race. They are bottom 4. This is not good. One of Kartvengers has fallen, but not enough. And that probably... Yep, so 2-6 bottom 4. 2-6 bottom 4. I mean, it's not going to be... Definitely not going to be the end of the world, but... We wait for our Toad bot to update itself. Courtesy of Ikra. No, potentially not. Right, okay. We're going to be waiting for me to update the bot. No, we're not. Okay, Ikra has got to the bot, and it's only now a +10 deficit for Revival. Kartvengers have got it all back. So well done, Kartvengers. This is quite an interesting point of view, though. Erpa's playstyle is very much different from that we saw in Leroy's in the Dark Phantom Knights War. Whether or not that makes a major difference to the result, we'll find out, but definitely needing that bagger revival are Kartvengers wanting the runner in Wario Stadium, and it looks as if the runner is what we get. So Kartvengers in the momentum spot there. Revival have got to do something quick in this race before Kartvengers get the runaway. As we see, quite a slow start. Hello, Lakitu. How you doing? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Erpa with a fantastic start effort there. Better than that one I was commentating last war. As he's going to be struggling to get the coins, but obviously started out with some coins. Going to lose most of those coins by getting backed. And... now in 12th, he might go for a shock. He might just try and push up. It's one of those where the shock doesn't do a ton so long as the pack has started to break. And Erpa getting hit out again would almost guarantee that he should probably be going for some form of power item. Doesn't have to be a shock. But... let's see what he gets here. It's going to be triple shrooms, so not ideal. Not ideal. If you want a power item, you don't want 3 shrooms, but we'll see what he gets with this double. This double could be the race definer. No, that's going to be triple shrooms again, and a star. Star's good. You know, it all depends on whether or not the shock's in play. As it stands, doesn't look too positive, if I'm honest, for Revival again. But it is that momentum. It is down to the track picks. Kartvengers doing really well so far to hold on. Mirio in front with that red. is in danger with that boomerang. Looks like Erpa's just connected with the very end of his star on Mirio. And he might be getting third place, but it's down to where the rest of Revival have ended up. Is there anyone in the top two to take it back, or are Kartvengers getting a few more points off of that lead, potentially even getting into the lead? Looks like that blue has done enough damage actually to give Erpa that second place, and that is mitigating the damage immensely. And in fact, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. He's not as bad as I thought that was going to be. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. And actually, Revival winning that just about. I wasn't expecting that with 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. But I guess that bottom two, costly for Kartvengers. And Revival going for that track that we saw in the Dark Phantom Knights War, doing wonders for them there. DK Jungle from Kartvengers. The one of those traditional ones that you see in most wars. Bit of a utility track. You can use it for a number of things. You can run, but mid-pack positions aren't too hindered. You know, that 3-5 might be alright. If I was 11 and 12, I'd be more considering a bag as opposed to any serious running potential, but we'll see how they play it out. You know, Revival have obviously got that 10th as well. That might be a bagger, but when you're only 10 seconds into a race, it's very hard to predict that kind of stuff. Trippy getting past Erpa, then Erpa getting the draft. It's all going to be down to this first couple of turns, if I'm honest, on this track. So, do they break away? Do they not break away? And the answer to that is they don't break away. So, Revival in with an okay opportunity to capitalise, but they have just had Erpa drop out. And Leroy now the best prospect for Team Revival. Kai, Ceci. So, Revival in a lot of these spots in the middle, but not breaking into the top couple just yet. And that is the all-elusive set of spots, is 1, 2. And Leroy is going to have to watch out with how he's attacking, but at the same time, Erpa with this flower spam is incredible. The blue coming in. Erpa needs a double box, gets a nothing box. What a moment for him, as again, really, Erpa should have looked back towards that green a little bit more, I guess. Getting hit out, but with one lap to go, could there be a shock in play? Absolutely. Could either of the people holding stars... Oh! Kartvengers have got the shock, I believe. I've just seen that in Miyu, and going to be seeing what Miyu wants to do with that shock, but Erpa predicting wrong with the first star, now going for a second effort with another star. Yit going into a bill. It's going to be a TS on some of the top spots if they do have it. Very possible that could have been another item that I've just like blindly assumed was a shock, but I guess we're about to find out. I think I might have been wrong with that being a shock. What a shame. What a shame, but regardless, great race again for Kartvengers, getting that top 2-5 now, but Revival doing their best. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. It's definitely a way to try and hold. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Only a -4. 168 to 160. This is far closer than the first war was. That's all I'm going to say so far. But, yeah, this is very, very interesting. Again, with this Grumble Volcano pick coming in from Revival. They really want that track. Kartvengers really want to give them tracks that they know Revival don't like. Toad Harbour. Toad Harbour! And again, these Kartvengers track picks coming in, with the greatest of respect, they should be hitting a few more points off the board. We would hope, for Kartvengers' sake, that either the momentum stays in their bit of the tennis court, or, you know, perhaps on one of their tracks they can capitalise a bit more. Again, if you're Revival, though, you're hoping just to get a track pick at the minute. You've had a few in a row, not yours. And Erpa really wants a power item, and looks like we're getting an interesting perspective of this race, but better than picking Rainbow Road, so there you go. Looks like he's really going for a bag. Gets the star. Whether or not the star's going to be strong enough, we'll find out. But he's got a prime opportunity to get another double box, see whether or not he can get that shock. Even gets a bonus box before that, and that bonus box is a bill, which is not what he was looking for, to be fair to him, but it's alright. I can guarantee the bill is probably in play on one or two other players, if not for immense luck. So Ceci going for the bag, Erpa going for the bag, Maverick was going for the bag, Blue Throne. That means not great positions so far for Revival. And as it stands, not a good chain from Erpa either. Really weird plays, some of these chains from Erpa. Kartvengers shock. So, like we said, not great bagging from either side. I'd criticise possibly, but still enough time for Erpa to catch up now, I guess. He's lost the bagging battle, now it's a catch-up battle. He does have the bill. He will probably be using it very soon after this turn if I was him, but no, he really wants to hold. Really wanted to hold just to hit it into Alan, but poor Alan, he doesn't really care. And again, Revival with a lot of these low spots. I think Kartvengers might finally be doing some damage on one of their track picks. That's a little bit more than a measly little minus 4, minus 10, one of those. But very hard to really see or predict, given the perspective is so far down the back. All I can say is that there's very few Revival players at the top. And Erpa getting hit out there, not good at all for Revival. And, yeah, 3, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, Kartvengers are in the lead. That is guaranteed from that. Kartvengers in the lead. And that is 194 to 216. The momentum now fully in Kartvengers' side of that court. I'm going to see what happens, but I'm guessing if you were Revival at the moment, you would be terrified. Kartvengers getting all the track picks and finally getting some of that momentum back. But, yeah, we're going to have to see what happens. Erpa obviously wanting to go for a bagger. He thinks Mario Circuit's ideal. He's probably holding room for some reason. Is there a DC? No, so he's just holding room for the sake of holding room. That's fine by me. Let's have a little look. Okay, so Revival getting that track. So, Mario Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. Who will bag and who will run? Let's find out. As Erpa's going to be running. Trippy running. Miju running. Maverick running. Leroy running. Chosen running. 2 baggers for Revival. And I don't think we needed to see Erpa hit out his own friend, but we just did. So that's an Erpa 5 moment right there. Another Erpa 5 moment could be coming up if he doesn't watch out about where he's throwing that red. Nope, loses the red. Good for him. Probably safer at the minute with some of the misplays that Revival are doing. This communication not going the same way as it was that first war, but it might just be, like we say, that little bit of momentum. All it takes is 1 or 2 good races, and they are in decent spots. And that shock, I think, I mean, given the dodges, is going to be Revival, but it's just a preventative shock from the look of it, just to stop another shock from being used. It's not exactly the shock of dreams, as Erpa does manage to hit out this Kartvengers player, meaning that Revival in the positive positions going into this final little bit, he might be able to slow horn, maybe. The issue being, he's going for the slow horn, does connect, well done, good play, correct item. Erpa now has the opportunity to probably get past this Yit player, and that's going to be top 3 for Revival, getting back in the groove quite quickly. The issue is, what about those low spots? Top 3 nothing's unimportant. Top 3, 6, 7, 8 though is good. That's what they wanted to see. Top 3, 6, 7, 8, meaning that Revival are now back in it. 249 to 243. So, 249 to 243 after half of the war. Very close, far closer than the previous war. That's a positive bit of news if you're a fan of close wars. It's a negative bit of news if you're either of the teams fighting that war at the minute. Because obviously, you're not going to know who's who. Really? You're really also not going to know what to do with these kinds of spots. Top 3 and then mids. So that's Snesbo. Good track pick. If you're Kartvengers, probably a bagger. Maybe dry. No, they've gone Yoshi Valley. They've gone a little bit more tame. I went a little bit out there probably with that dry pick. I mean, I could have gone cheese. I didn't even play that safe. It's going to be Kartvengers' pick, but I don't think, momentum-wise, that's too bad for Revival. I think that's just Kartvengers trying to say, hello, let's get ourselves a little bit more of a neutral set of spots to begin with, so as to minimise the damage that Revival's top 3 can do. We'll see, though. We will see. As obviously, Revival's going to have a few of their top spots. Just try and run. Stop bagging. No need to bag. All you've got to do is press that A button, and that is exactly what Erpa 5 is going to try and do. Kai doing the same. Leroy doing the same. So that's top 4 out of just runners for Revival. One of those has been lost. This is where this defensive... You can say Schlaggy, you can say meat shield, you can say a number of different terms just to mean, you know, defending in between other players. You know, meat shield, one of those favourite ones. But got to find out. Yoshi Valley is one of those where the shock is likely to come in. Will it do much damage? Depends when it's used. Will it get used around about now, or will it get used late lap 3? So it's definitely not the roundabout now one that I was on about. Because some teams favour using it quite early to give them a chance to catch up. Other teams will try to just keep going. And that was, I guess, it's in between the two. It's early enough to catch up, and we're going to see 1 or 2 people catch up. And that's Alan from Kartvengers. So Kartvengers with a shot getting into these top spots. But Revival have got the opportunity to keep up. That blue being held by a Kartvengers member, though, that's opportune for them. Erpa could potentially green out this player in front, knowing that the blue is in play. And that's what he's going to do. Try and play it clever, but is it really worth Kartvengers avoiding? Yep, there we go. That is what I was going to say Kartvengers are likely to do. I was going to say, is it worth them dodging blue? Is Erpa in trouble? And he was. Unfortunate for him. And bottom 2 for Revival. Possibly bottom 3. No, just the 2. Not what Revival wanted with those original spots. So they did get the first, but beyond that, nothing, basically. And Kartvengers doing far more damage than perhaps some teams should really suffer. Saying that, though, there is only 2 points between them, as it's 286 to 288. So anything can still happen. We are still sat here with 5 races to go in Revival Kartvengers. If you are only just tuning in, I'm Stunky, and we're casting Erpa 5's perspective of Revival Kartvengers in Mario Kart Universal, so the league, or the main league for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And this is week 1, match 2 in Division 14. Revival Kartvengers as Ice Outpost coming in. Kartvengers getting a lot of these track picks. I know that's going to be what Revival say. I know there's a few people that would say track picks shouldn't make much difference. I would argue that momentum is quite important in this game, and that we've been saying that for some years. I remember being on that World Cup casting team a good 3 or 4 years ago, and basically getting a lecture on momentum from a number of the players that were higher divisions than me. You know, we've got to see whether or not this momentum is enough to bring Kartvengers home the W. Revival were in great form after that first war, but seems to be fading away. Whether or not there's some tilt involved, who knows, but they've only got a few races to really recapitalise on the good form they started on. Erpa here in 3rd place, chosen in 1st, now a top 2. Erpa gone. Forget Erpa 5, that's Erpa none. And unfortunately, it's back to square one for Erpa's drawing board. As a lot of backspam happening. This is one of the things with Ice Outpost, because of how tight a lot of these paths are. If you get a bomb, it's deadly. And Revival at the moment are in the better spots for being able to provide more backspam. Might be a case where Erpa's comfortable enough to backspam, or just goes forwards and hits one of the Kartvengers people off of the glider. Good play from him. 4th place now with this defence, but Kartvengers are indeed battling to try and get a few of these spots away from them. Still 2 uses of this boomerang for Erpa. Blue coming in. What's the blue gonna do? Get dodged. That is what the blue's gonna do. So this could be amazing news for Revival for the momentum. And this is a Kartvengers track pick again. And that's top 5. That's top 5. And that is what one good race can do for you. Top 5 is going to be bringing Revival far into the distance again. 30 points into the distance. Plus 32 that race. 343 to 313. And if you're Kartvengers, you've just been shocked. That is the worst thing that can happen. And on your pick. If you're Revival, you're over the moon. You're thinking, if we can do this on their pick, let's do one of our own picks. You know, we've just got some perfect positions for like a Snesbo. A Bowser's Castle is the kind of track I wasn't expecting to see, but there we go. Called as he picked it. I guess maybe they're going Bowser's Castle knowing that some teams don't like it. That might be their momentum. That might be their ideology. Cheeseland coming out from Kartvengers. That's a more common bagger. There you go. We need some good old 442 style Mario Kart here. Cheeseland. Bowser's Castle coming in. There we go. That's the track of dreams for Revival. But what can Revival do? So we've seen Kartvengers lose on their own track pick quite severely. Can Revival hold on? Now that they've finally got one of these track picks. Like we said, their momentum not going great to begin with the track picks not in their favour. But was that the race they needed? Was that the turning point in this war? Race 8. This is now race 9. Bowser's Castle. Erpa, bad start now with a shroom. Obviously, Kartvengers in 12. There is the opportunity for the shock. It's not one of those really tiny tracks where the shock is very unlikely. This is prime target shock, basically. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see prime target shock coming in. This lovely jump. So, if I was Erpa, I'd be really wanting to go for that shock. Either that or dodges and really hope for that prediction. And hope that the rest of your team have got dodges as well. Just to nullify the damage that one might cause. But Erpa's managed to break his way back into this main pack. And, you know, if you're a Revival fan, you are hoping that one person is at the back. Because like we say, on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, people like to use those shocks early just to make sure that the other team can't. Blue coming in. Will we see a shock? Target shock massively. Deadly. Not going to happen from the look of it. I guess Erpa too close. Erpa now trying to run away from the Kartvengers players. Top 2 for Revival as it stands. And that's actually quite the good run. It's quite the gap between them. Erpa trying a dodgy line, but does recover it quite well. Has these coins. Really not much use having the coin, but I guess it's a good demo. Erpa falling off. Erpa none. Yet again, Erpa none. And he's completely missed that green, and he might actually get himself if he's not careful, so he's got to watch out. Kartvengers, a lot of these spots behind. This blue coming in won't. Will it affect Leroy too much? No. No, he hits the line. That's top 2 for Revival, but Kartvengers behind them. And we're going to find out very shortly whether or not Kartvengers have done enough to nullify that. No, because Kai got 4th. Kai 4, Chosen 7. And that's enough. That's a +8. So, again, momentum in their favour. And I would say top 2 with very little else. Sunshine? Sunshine, anyone? Think it's a good bit of weather? Sunshine? You know, tracks like that. So, Sunshine's one of the options. There aren't many other options. I mean, Melody Motorway, Music Park, or whatever you want to call it. If Leroy's first, that would be another option. We'll see. We'll see. This is the one lucky bit for me. I'm obviously not looking at the war chat to see what they're picking. And it is Melody Motorway versus Twisted Mansion. We've discussed Twisted already on a couple of these track screens. Twisted, a very strong mid-pack kind of track. Bag heavy. Bag heavy. Melody Motorway, not so bag heavy. More run heavy. And we're going to be seeing Melody come out. So Leroy's getting the best for him. Kartvengers now have got 3 races to come back from a deficit they really didn't look like they were going to be deserving. Only a few minutes ago, 2 or 3 bad races for them, and they are in a bit of trouble on this 10th race, especially with it being one of Revival's tracks. Kartvengers falling behind so far, but like we said with the Dark Phantom Knights War, this is all about momentum, so Revival need a good race here, and ideally the next track pick to seal the deal. Kartvengers, all they need is to really upset on this track. And if they upset on this track, the momentum may go their way enough to swing. Erpa none yet again. Can't believe it. 0 points, Erpa. Shame you don't get 0 points anymore on this game. Because that was probably worthy of it, but oh well. Erpa really doesn't want to go for that shock. That Daisy, on the other hand, is a massive fan of the shock, so we'll see what happens. Erpa now going for the shock. Like I say, when someone's bagging that hard, you might want to just see what they've got. So it's a Bill versus Bill situation, so fair enough. If I was Erpa, the minute I'm out of that Bill, I'm spamming that golden at least once. Let's try and get more. Yep. Just try and get as many boxes as possible in the time frame you've got. And then I'd look back, yeah, like he's doing. See what the other player's got. The other player's got a Bill. He's hiding a Bill. That's a star, not a Bill. Can't believe it. My eyesight's gone even worse. Again, a star for Erpa. So again, you look back. You slow down a little bit. You minimise the opportunity of that being a shock in the hand. And then you can start using your items yourself. There we go. And the shock was, in fact, in the hand of someone. Lots of dodges coming up, so I don't think many people... Erpa, naught. Right, I don't think anyone's going to really capitalise from that, but... Leroy, that's a run. That's a run, Leroy. Well done. Well done for Leroy on Revival. For basically what could be saving their race, depending on what the other spots are. I think, though, Revival might have a few good spots, because there's quite a few Kartvengers names popping up near the back. Top 2, 5, 7. That is good enough. That's a positive race for Revival. Kartvengers now probably, what, 46 down, I'd say, maybe 48 down. 48 down. So, Kartvengers 48 down. 2 races to go. Basically, they need to win this next one by quite a bit. That is basic English. They need to win. Like, if Captain Obvious hadn't spoken enough times this night, they need to win this race. Revival only need 58 points to get the tie out of the next 2 races. So, if they can get anything close to 58, that's good. That's great news. So that top 2, 5, 7, 9, 12 would definitely have been enough. All they need to do is duplicate that on Twisted Mansion. Can they do it? We'll find out. In just 2.5 minutes' time, we'll possibly have the name of the winner of this war. Erpa not getting a box, but does get the draft. I'd argue that the box not so important to begin with on Twisted. It is good to get a bit of a break, but, you know, not the end of the world. Getting 2 greens, though, is probably not what Erpa had in mind, especially when Leroy goes the same way as the front player for Kartvengers in Mirio. Miju right behind. And he gets the second one ghosted, so he's got to think defence now with Miju right behind him. He's not thinking too defensively. That's a more offensive backspam, but it does work. Connects with Miju, and that was an interesting way to waste a horn, I guess. I wouldn't have done it that way, but Miryu using the horn there to try and get Leroy out, unfortunately gets outplayed by Erpa's red. Weird play, like I say. Bit hard to reflect on mid-war when it just didn't work, but high risk. Obviously, this top 2, if Revival hold it, is deadly for Kartvengers this war. And I guess that was their attempt. That was one of their few attempts to negate the top 2. As it stands, though, still a top 2 for Revival. This, if they've got a couple of those mid spots, is probably enough. Probably enough to guarantee that win. But like we say, we're a couple of seconds away from finding out. Is there a shock in play? Well, they haven't target shocked Erpa, so unless it's a shock for Revival really late, it's top 2. I think Revival may have won that war. We're about to find out. Top 3, 6 is going to be enough. Just, I believe. Top 3, 6. Going to see what that does to the overall standings of the war. Yeah, 482 to 420. That is definitely enough. And like we said with the Dark Phantom Knights War, I'd say even more with this Kartvengers War. These are really close wars. You know, there are some wars where people run away forever and, you know, they're like 200 ahead by this point. This is the tale of 2 or 3 good races. And Kartvengers, until 4 races ago or 5 races ago, were in the lead. You know, after 7 races, Revival were 2 down. The race after, they were 30 up. And then it's just these small increments like 8, 10, 14. If Kartvengers had got a couple of those 8, 10, 14, those kind of wins in the last couple of races, we'd be looking at a completely different result at the moment. You know, Revival pulling ahead from just one properly good race and just a couple of brave efforts from their runners. And, you know, I don't think Kartvengers have got anything to be sad about. This has been a fantastic showing from both teams. Shroom Ridge, the final track. Obviously, like we say, this is week 1. Lots of improvements to be done from all the teams. I'm sure Revival will be learning from this experience. Kartvengers obviously will be learning from this experience. As all, you know, experienced teams do. Experienced teams will be learning from their mistakes. Like we said, Revival, lots of sloppy errors the first half of this war. Lots of communication faults. Kartvengers, I think towards the end, have started making those same errors. Erpa Nort making quite a lot of the errors for Revival, but, you know, it really is a tale of 1 or 2 good races causing that momentum shift. And for Revival, it's happened really well in the last 2 wars, but, you know, on a completely different day, Kartvengers could very easily have turned that around. And I think we have to appreciate, whether you're in Revival, you're in Kartvengers, you're a neutral, you know, whoever it is you support, you've got to just thank the fact that this has been a close war, because it makes for good viewing. It definitely makes for good casting for me. As we get towards the final lap, looks as if Kartvengers may have the opportunity to at least take a little bit less damage, but saying that, Leroy's in first by quite a distance. So, if you're a Leroy fan, you might want to appreciate the points he's about to be slam dunking from this war, but that blue will be doing a bit of damage. Not enough to actually make him lose any spots, though. That is incredible, having such a running prowess. He's done that a couple of times now, is Leroy, with the blues doing almost nothing to him, but that is a fantastic effort. And top 3, 6, 7. That's just the game. That is the game. Revival in the last few races have taken it away from Kartvengers, but like we say, nothing wrong with what Kartvengers has done. they have done their best, and you know, they can't be embarrassed. 536 to 448 the score. You know, Leroy 125. That's the tale. It's one or two runners making the biggest difference. And you know, at any point that could have been a completely different story. That could have been Kartvengers getting that win. But as it stands, Revival getting a plus 88 against Kartvengers. That follows their trend against Dark Phantom Knights of a plus 102. So their point difference after 2 is going to be 190 point difference with 2 wins on the trot. Great start for Revival this season. Obviously, as we're casting this, other matches are happening, so no final results. This isn't one where we've got an active table, I'm afraid. I'm not that good at casting in terms of setting up. This was a last minute setup, but again, thank you to everyone for watching this. Obviously, thank you to the people that have provided the points of view. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting, whether it's in the chat, whether it's on YouTube when it's been posted. You know, anyone that can provide some help, thank you very much. And yeah, thanks for watching this week's Revival cast. We'll see whether or not we get a cast in the next couple of weeks, but you know, 2 wars, why not? There we go, good cast. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's been sticking around. Thanks to the points of view. Thanks to Revival for letting this happen. Thanks to Kartvengers and the other team, Dark Phantom Knights, for being great sports in this tournament. And thanks to the Mario Kart Central and Mario Kart Universal teams for setting this tournament up. But we'll be sure to keep you in tune with any other news that happens for the Revival team. And we'll be casting the next matches next weekend probably. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.